believe we're live. And we are live. Believe it or not, we are, in fact, 100% totally, legitimately live.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Ash, it's crazy, right? That's like a crazy thing.
Well, excuse me.
Reminds me of the time when... I forget.
You were setting up like a Family Guy type of it. It's like, reminds me of that
Yeah,
one time.
yeah.
Reminds me of that one time that we played Bowser's Big Blast. And then Bowser's Bigger Blast. And then did it again.
What makes it bigger? It seems like a relatively same-sized bomb to me.
More triangles.
True.
There's just more. And you know what else is gonna have just more? You know what else is gonna be just bigger?
I'm so glad you caught on.
The Switch 2, guys. It's gonna be just bigger. It's gonna be just bigger and just better, and all that good stuff. And even more expensive, and even more.
Those chuckleheads revealed it right after we said they wouldn't.
Yeah, literally. So,
Very good reveal.
This was certainly a good reveal. And how do we feel about it just being revealed like now, like after the eight years that we've had to deal with the first model of Switch?
Definitely took a bit too long.
Yeah.
8 years is a pretty long time. That is true.
Like,
Like
it's unheard of for Nintendo. Like, if you look just at the household consoles, there's usually a good amount of time between them, but this is still, I think, the longest.
it is,
except
the
maybe
longest,
the early
yes.
days.
No, even
But
the
even-
NES
but the-
to SNES, that was 85 to 90, and even for like the Famicom to Super Famicom, that was 83 to 90, and then from 90 to 96, 96 to 01, 01 to 06, 12, 17. So
it's the longest time.
Yeah.
In addition to it, like it's especially worse though if you factor in handhelds.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Certainly has been a while since the last, like, Nintendo console thing. Console, handheld, anything. Just literally the last Nintendo anything that it wasn't just Switch. But even then, this is still Switch, but the sequel.
What do you mean? We just got the alarm bell.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Alarm was right there. How much is that thing?
It's 100.
$100. See, it's correct. Did we know anybody who's paid $100 for the Alarmo?
I mean, I could like download an MP3 of 1.1 and probably recreate it on my phone. Like I
mean, there's got to be $100 of alarm clock technology for the Nintendo Alarmo, right?
Hold on,
There's got to
I
be
need
like
to test something
$100
real
worth of
quick.
stuff in that, right?
Because I could set songs for my default music app on my phone and my alarms. Can I do the same with Nintendo Music?
like make your phone wallpaper like just a stock Mario image so it feels official.
What's a good...
Hashtag
Breath of the
so
Wild.
retro.
Yeah. Let's make my alarm the Guardian theme.
Oh,
Until
cooking?
I can set the alarm clock alarm to the Pokemon Black and White low health theme, I'm not gonna buy it.
Wait.
That's so good, actually.
I'm picturing like Squidward waking up at fucking midnight to that. That's fucking spectacular.
Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. We're not
That
even
was-
talking
that
about
was-
the Switch 2. We're just talking
Yeah,
about
when did they
like that was
compared to Switch 2?
that was-
Alarmo is just obviously the more refined product.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
To be fair, you can currently purchase the Alarmo, so currently it is the more refined product because it is a product that is currently on sale and released.
Fair, I guess.
Yeah.
Which, at least like we know that the Switch 2 is going to be this year.
That's true.
Crazy to think about.
My sister in the background did not know about this until just now. About the Switch 2.
Hell yeah.
Which is weird because I was just talking about how we was going to be talking about this for like what I'm doing right now.
Do you know I don't pay attention?
You should have
I know you don't.
you should have trolled her and just called it like the Switch U or some shit
The
like that.
Switch- Oh my god.
Yeah.
The Switch 1.5. Pull a Lion King.
The old 0.5.
Which I guess let's just talk about the name real quick. The Switch 2. Really getting fancy with the
Shouldn't we
PlayStation numerics. Clearly,
be called Switch Plus?
it's the Switch 2.
I had some thoughts that I mentioned in a different server. Let me go find them because I might just read my thoughts.
Okay. Well, while you're finding them, Venge, what do you think about the name?
I'm so glad they didn't call it like the Nintendo Swap or some stupid shit like that. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Nintendo Swap.
You know, I've got one of my
that's-
friends here who's dissing the console. I got something that'll be something to pull from. But anyway,
Yeah, I have a lot. I have people that are very mixed about the product itself, but like, I don't know. I personally think it is. If they're going to be repeating and using the same tech that they like, or like rather improving upon the tech that they already have with a console that is very similar to the previous one, just better. I would rather them be more forward about that instead of having another Wii U fiasco, which, let's be frank, this is entirely what they're avoiding right now with this name.
Exactly.
They're very,
Exactly,
being very
yeah.
like forward with the name. This ain't a Super Switch. This ain't like this ain't a Switch 64. This ain't a Switch U. This is the Switch 2, the direct sequel.
yeah, I think
Super
one of my
Switch would have went hard.
It-
mentioned that.
It
It's
kind
like-
of would have went hard, the Super Switch, but it's kind of funny.
Like the
that-
next one, like the Ultra Switch.
Yes, the Nintendo Ultra Switch 64.
Oh, we're past the
Hell
Ultra era.
yeah.
That was just Pokemon.
That it would have been the 64. Remember the N64 when it was originally called the Ultra 64. The Nintendo Ultra 64.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that part.
Strange. So yeah, I found my thoughts. The only thing I said was that I just said I thought Switch 2 felt awkward.
I can see
but
why
I
you
also
think it's awkward.
I don't know. Probably because it's the first time Nintendo's done a direct sequel in like a console name.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if it's probably gonna do better because of that. Because again, the Wii U. So, and another one of my friends pointed out, yeah, it's not any more awkward than the new 3DS, which I is fair, is kind of accurate.
I would much rather the more straightforward Switch 2 rather than like, because like new 3DS, that's just a 3DS but like newer and slightly updated. The Switch 2 is just, it more forwardly shows itself as the sequel.
Mhm.
Like this is the next
this is-
generation.
It's gonna be like the Wii U and 3DS from 2DS, or not from 2DS, but like Lite and DSi. It's gonna be that kind of a jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not gonna be like they're not gonna do the Wii U thing where they whatever the hell it was that went wrong.
Everything went wrong with the Wii U.
Because I think the 3DS didn't do as well as the DS, but it didn't do poorly.
You know, after the initial initial price drop and then everything else that happened with the 3DS, the 3DS did like well enough to be a success.
Yeah.
And realistically, I'm going to think that this next console, Switch 2, probably gonna be a good success. Like I can't really see a future where this console ends up flopping.
If they hadn't confirmed it was backwards compatible, I would disagree, but they did, so I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing about this. It's like, now that I really am thinking harder about this, this really is just a PS1, PS2 situation. Like entirely backwards compatible system, right? Yeah, that's the first big thing, which is like, all right, off on a great start. And I think that's the big thing about it. It's just like full backwards compatibility with a sequel console. It makes sense. Previous generation did that, you know, with the Wii to the Wii U. That makes full sense. 100% expected that. But the fact that it still is there and the Switch has a really strong library also just points to this being like a good thing. It's just like, hey, trade in your new, I can trade in your console for a new one. Just like do it, or like do a system transfer at least, and then you can sell your old console for the new one.
Yeah. Like I can see myself getting the Switch 2, probably not immediately, because usually the first wave of things have some hardware problems that get sorted out within a few months.
Right, that is true.
But like, I don't even think I need a new game immediately. I could just get the Switch and play my old ones for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I get the new Mario Kart. I don't know.
Which, do we want to talk about that now, or do we want to talk about that like after a bit of just more talking about the Switch 2 in general?
I think wait on that one.
Yeah.
I think I want to bring up like, okay, Mooney. Do you got real thoughts about this right now? And you're still like muted. I don't know if you have text to speech ready. But like thoughts on the Switch 2 currently?
It will be a Nintendo.
What?
It will be a Nintendo. You cut out on it will be a Nintendo.
It will be a Nintendo console that plays games at an acceptable frame rate.
Yippee! That's all we. This is entirely 100% true. Which
That's a fair expectation, I think. A lot of late stage Switch games don't run the best.
Scarlet Violet.
God, that game. Also, a lot of games where you'd expect to get 60 end up getting 30 per frame rate.
Yeah, like Thousand Year Door remakes like that, right?
Yeah. Which I've went on about that game before, but the 30 FPS issue is not an issue with that game in the slightest. It's just something to point out. Something to point out that makes like the game play slightly differently.
When I'm thinking performance issues, brothership in some areas, ugged. It was kind of bad.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I also don't, which is... I need to finish that game.
Yeah. You know what I'm curious? I'm curious about if this new console will actually actually come in with remedies for these issues, just like being able to run these games smooth as butter, which I would hope so, since it is the true sequel.
That would be one hell of a sales pitch.
Yeah, just like, hey, see all these old games? See all these old games, and like, hey, they can bring back up Mario Kart 8. They can bring that shit back up. It's just like, hey, you see this old game that ran at 30 FPS and in 4-player split screen? Now you don't. Now it can run at 60, but baby, it can run at 60 no matter what you're playing. Like, no matter how many people you're playing.
A while ago, I said that the Switch successor just needed to be an upgraded Switch, and it would sell fine enough. I think it probably realistically needs more than that, but I kind of stand by it.
Yeah, I think Nintendo found themselves in the perfect storm of being like around the curve, but just behind the curve enough to where as soon as they like go one generation up, their sales will still rise rise incredibly hard, because they're only just now getting to like ultimate console level, or like what they want, which,
Yeah.
because at this point the only real way I can see, like, as soon as the Switch 2 drops, after this I don't really see a way forward, more so just ways like to innovate outside of just raw graphic capabilities. That's what I'm seeing.
I'm mainly just
I wonder if, like, if the Switch 2 does have performance upgrades for games, if it'll be an update in the game, or if it'll just be like per console, if that makes sense. I don't know how that would work.
I feel like, the game would probably have to support a higher frame rate. So, like, that Thousand Year Door has that, right? It's got the 60 FPS in the code that just isn't ever accessed. I don't know how that would work with something like Scarlet Violet, because like they're supposed to be 30 FPS games. They just never do.
Hmm.
So presumably, if the Switch 2 is able to rectify some of the issues, maybe it actually will run at 30. But also, that's like at least partially a game issue, because I think I've mentioned this, Scarlet Violet, they have the entire world's worth of water loaded at the same time. It never unloads water.
Huh.
Yeah.
What?
That's so. That's like,
I feel like
that's like Sonic 06 levels of like loading bad.
Part of it is probably like out of bounds prevention, in the same way that like Breath of the Wild does the same thing. Although it's not the entire world's worth, at least it's just what's around you.
I've heard rumors of Sonic 06 is like picking load times being awful because of the fact that they reload the entire stage that you're in every time.
Huh.
You don't have to worry about that in Scarlet Violet. There aren't loading zones. That's kind of also the problem, but
So
Yeah.
I guess the updates would have to be like by game, because it sounds like a lot of this stuff is like case by case.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
like-
what I'd have to guess.
maybe there'd be an update for the game, but only if it's installed or loaded on a Switch sequel. A Switch 2.
Yeah. It would certainly have to be by game, because there are some games where the 30 FPS cap actually is important. and it's baked into the game. For example, I actually remember seeing someone play Forgotten Land on totally real Switch hardware that ran at 60 FPS magically.
Wink.
Wink, wink. And try the end of the game with like the button mashing, since every Kirby game now just has to have like an end game, either shake the Wiimote, like shake your controller to like half to death, or just rotate the stick or mash buttons or do all three. That was twice as hard.
Huh.
because 60 FPS kind of fucks with how the game handles that sort of thing. So it makes that thing twice as difficult, because it's reading every frame as it's some form of shit like that.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I kind of see the picture.
Like a timer based on frame count as opposed to by
as opposed to like
actual
delta time or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some things like that would have to be taken care of, but you've got a game like Mario Kart 8, you could just you could run that shit perfectly fine at 60 FPS. You probably won't have to do a single thing. You just have to like say, hey, like this should run at 60 now, please, and thank you, and you win.
Doesn't Mario Kart? I guess in split screen it
In
doesn't.
3 to 4 player split screen. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, okay, here's a random thought. Do you think the clips, when you like hold the screenshot button for a second, would those run at 60 now?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. My question is, do you think the clips would be longer, or do you think you can set longer clips?
That would be cool.
I would like. I feel like setting minute long clips would be cool.
Man, would native streaming be like a big ask? Like, I know PlayStation does something like that.
That would also be cool as hell, but I'm not like that. That does feel like a bit of an ask, but I'm not sure. I don't know how Nintendo is.
Like,
about
no,
that.
in my head, no way in hell Nintendo is doing that. But that would
Yeah.
be so cool.
That's for the Switch 2 DX.
Switch to DX. We getting a director's cut or like? What?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know,
The one
I-
downside
I-
to not having a controller for this is I keep accidentally typing in the document I have open.
I think my other question would have to be is like, I mean, like, we know like Mario Kart saw the big split screen game thing with like a local play. Do you think they'd do 3 to 4 player split screen with online as well? Considering.
I'm just
That
saying
would be
no.
rad. But yeah, no.
Because, like, part of the issue with doing split screen and online is, like,
You're sending
The
4 times
TV.
as many inputs.
there's that, but then there's also, like, the TV size. The Switch is going to be bigger. Your TVs probably aren't.
I mean, for 3 to 4 players, for 3 to 4 players split screen, that it's not really that big of an issue, considering that if you're playing 3 to 4 player split screen, you're going to be playing with 12 players on the field anyways, because there are 8 other CPUs.
Yeah.
And considering there's more than likely going to be 4 players per screen in the new Mario Kart anyways, having 20 other people fill the field wouldn't really make much of a difference, because you're gonna have 20 people fill the field anyways. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I'm saying anyways a lot. Anyway. How about here's an actually big thought. What are you having fun over there?
Yes.
Okay. What do we want the UI to look like?
Like the menu or just
Yeah,
on anything.
How do we feel about like the current Switch menu is very quick and all, like very quick, very simple. very flat. It's appealingly flat in terms of like how it's presented, but how do we want the next one to handle in terms of like UI complexity? Like, what do we want out of it?
I think like the complexity is good, but can we have like 3DS style designs? Like you have like the music in the background, the menu like changing colors based on whatever you select.
Hmm.
Like I want to hear Cass's theme as I select a game.
I do certainly agree on that. Like, I really want. I've been using my 3DS a lot more as of late, and I really just I want some music to vibe to in the background. I would love that. Like the say what you will about the Wii U, but like the Wii U having different menu themes for almost every different like application on the system, it was very cool. Like having music for system settings, having music for having the internet settings theme, having several eShop themes, having just a whole menu theme, having different themes you can actually buy for like dirt cheap. Like, it's
You've mentioned the eShop.
yeah.
I'm now obligated to request that it is actually usable on the Switch too.
It be usable and having music ? Please, thank you, and good night. I would love to have some more music to listen to while I browse the eShop. Maybe just make it a toggle, please. It would be so cool.
I think everything being toggled would be a nice compromise, honestly. Like having the option to have the Switch one clicky, just fast menu, or if you want, you can just switch to a different theme or
Yeah.
mess with the UI set. Like customizable UI would be so fucking cool.
Nintendo,
yeah.
please
That'd be
give
really
us
cool.
options. Give us options, please. Give us options with your
Something
new
like-
console, please.
Something like Steam where you get to choose like profile backgrounds and that kind of thing, but for your just like your whole menu. That'd be cool.
I just wholeheartedly beg to just have more options with this new console.
Also, let me pin shit. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Are you like pinning games or something?
Let
to
me
the
pin a
menu?
game, yeah. Like,
That'd
so
be
it
so
stays up
nice.
front. Or folders, like folders on the... there's a lot that they could do, really, just to make the whole experience better.
There's sort of a way you can organize your games, but it's like you have to go all the way to the all games option to even get there.
Are here with
At that
Nintendo
point,
Switch
I just-
2, the sequel.
At that
Cool
point,
stuff.
I just pick out the game that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
They were so close with that. They were so close to almost get it right.
I just have my Switch organized by most played at this point because it's kind of accurate to the games I play.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hello, Star.
Yeah, we're just talking about how we want the Switch to be presented in terms of its like UI and what we really dream for with this new console. I miss just like the very clear Fudiger arrow style that the Wii U and 3DS had.
Yep. One random thing that'd be cool that the Wii U had
Hmm?
is when it's loading up a game, it has a still image from that game and some music from the game.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And a lot of the time the music itself is unique to that screen.
Yep.
Which is cool. Hearing because of the possibility of broken Joy-Cons in a different way. In what sense?
The connectors, I'm guessing.
Oh, right. seeing that one artist rendition of the connectors just like snapping off.
They gotta make those sturdy as all hell, but I don't think you can make them invincible.
Of anything, I'm so fucking cautious with the new Joy-Cons, if anything. Like, the actual console, I'm 100% on board, but the actual controllers, I'm so nervous about. I've gone through, like, I've probably talked about this already, but I've gone through, like, 4 Joy-Cons, 6 maybe. It's just not a good
That is
controller.
more cost than the console itself.
Right, like, just...
I think if you factor in the fact that my sister has a Switch too, there are 6 Joy-Con pairs in our house.
Your sister has a Switch too?
Oh my gosh! This early?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
No, that was good. But yeah, no, because she's got a Switch, and I've had a 2017 Switch, so yeah, and then we both got new ones this Christmas, so there's 6 pairs of Joy-Cons in our house.
Ugh. $100 replacement for Joy. That just sounds awful. That sounds entirely awful, and I really hope that doesn't happen.
And
Don't
then
worry.
I tell you what, I got a $70 Pro controller. I've had this thing for dead ass like 5 or 6 years now. They're so good. The other ones are so good. I don't get why they can't just make the Joy-Cons like this.
Yeah, it is confusing. But here's the confusing part for me too. I have 2 Pro controllers because one of them started drifting.
From my experience, I've never had issues. If I do, I will let you know. But
I think
Daisy the
Did we
winner!
Daisy?
Daisy
there we
the
go.
winner!
I think
I
the
think
confines of reality just like stopped around her for a second there. God.
yeah, my I like my current Pro controller even is having issues. There's like dust under the joystick that I just can't get out. So I need to I just need to open the controller at some point and clean it out.
Oh no,
And I could probably fix
not
my
your
first one by
warranty
doing
that's
that.
going to be voided. Oh no, not your warranty that's definitely already totally 100% voided already. Yeah, you do have to probably put up to open the controller up for that.
Yeah.
No,
Hopefully they fix drift, and hopefully they're more durable than they look.
dude, with how they were fucking swiveling around that control stick initially in that trailer, they better fix that drift.
And if they haven't, we'll just sue them again.
That didn't even go through, did it?
No, it did. They have a website where you can mail in Joy-Cons to have them fixed.
Oh.
They never talk about it, but they have it.
And mail it in. And they have to make it as secret as possible. Say that they have solved the issue, but in the hardest way possible for us. Like any good company.
I am curious if they're gonna make a new Pro controller, or if they're just gonna, like, make, like, new versions of the old one.
I feel
This is
like
a
they
really
don't
solid controller.
I feel like they don't really have to make like a new, slightly updated version of the one that they have right now, because this Pro controller is very good. It's genuinely a very good controller. For $70, the premium feel of it is still very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, Star's GameCube controller is 20 years old.
Huh.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, GameCube controllers are just fucking. They come
They're
from a
built
different time when Nintendium actually meant something.
Nintendium.
Dude, have y'all seen that commercial? Have y'all seen that ad just of the GameCube versus PS2 versus Xbox durability test?
I think you sent that or something like that.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Hmm. That shit was when Nintendium, man, when that GameCube still worked. Waluigi, you good? Oh yeah.
Listen, I have keyboard controls, so I get to mess with things.
Four. Who paused? Four.
Oh crap, that's
You
me, isn't it?
paused.
I'm gonna turn off background input.
Probably a good idea. Yeah, olden times Nintendium works. The worst that happened with these things is no two wearing after a decade plus of use. I mean, that's kind of just like the L and R buttons on a DS or a Game Boy Advance, because like I have a GBASP, right? Probably quite old, and worn, but it certainly still works. But the L and R, the R button is a little finicky sometimes. And same goes with the DS Lite that belongs to my brother, which has been in my room for too long.
I have an idea.
Fellas, I accidentally deleted my score.
What?
I'm gonna just estimate here what my score was.
How many did you? Oh,
It's okay, it doesn't matter. We're fine.
Dun 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 dun. Dun. DS Lite is worn shoulder buttons by DSi, slightly broken touchscreen. Bye.
Was that yes, I still use one.
Yeah, drift is the worst. Like, of all the controller and console related issues that I've seen in Nintendo consoles, like, drift sucks because it affects every single anything, and it's never anyone's fault except Nintendo's.
Yeah, drift is just kind of not fun to deal with.
Like, you could fully blame me for what happened to my 3DS XL, but cannot blame me for drift. One of my DS's lost its circle pad. Two of my DS's lost their circle pads, actually. My DS Lite left does not work. Oh yeah, my Switch's battery is also just getting worse.
That's to be expected, though, considering you've had it for quite a bit.
It's a year one Switch, and I've used it nonstop without an OLED or any sort of replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Still, though,
Most to off the gameplay and at least seen me wrestle with my Joy-Con for several years in Platoon 2 and some of 3. Yeah, no, I have seen that. And I've had to play with it as well, since we've played together quite a bit. That game, it's certainly a thing that exists that I really hope gets addressed.
yes. I have a friend with a Switch Lite, and the left stick got drift, so he had to get a Pro controller, just because Switch Lite had stick drift. Hey, Splatoon was mentioned, and now I have a thought.
What's up?
Because of the theorized or whatever the function of Joy-Cons potentially working like computer mice.
Yeah.
Thoughts
I see
on
where you're going with. I see where you're going with that.
would it work in old games ever, or what kind of new games would they build around it?
If it
That new
works,
WarioWare is gonna go crazy.
oh my god, a new WarioWare would be so.
Dude, wait,
new
you're so
WarioWare
right.
and new Mario Maker would go actually nuts with that, with the fucking mouse controller.
They did a DIY with that. That's a perfect opportunity to bring that back.
Yes.
I think the mouse controller, you'd have to find a way to set it up. Like, you'd have to give like maybe at least just like set it up a little. You'd have to like, hey, you might want a table for this, by the way, because it's a Switch mouse more or less. But I can see like a new Mario Maker with this control setup, and I want it because that's just like. It's Mario Paint again. They brought back, welcome back SNES mouse.
Dude, if they remade WarioWare DIY, like I would probably cry.
Nah, making a new WarioWare like in this kind of like. I feel like the moment that you give people the ability to share their own creations on WarioWare, that has to be the most heavily moderated thing Nintendo has ever made. Has to be the most heavily moderated thing Nintendo has ever made, ever.
You do have a point there.
But it'd be so funny though.
It would be so cool, but at the same time, WarioWare did it myself.
There we go.
That seems like such a cool idea, but at the same time, I can see that going south so quickly, and it just like, hey, servers are shut down within the year. We don't want to moderate this anymore, please.
Smash custom stages are still up, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's true. He's got a point. Never mind. We're back in business.
If I had my Switch on me, I'd go test and see how long it takes to find something here.
If nothing else, it gives a lot of employment opportunities.
That's funny. That's really funny.
It gives like infinite employment opportunities for people that want to make stuff from that game.
WarioWare DIY Switch. Send me to Japan right now to go moderate that.
Oh, this is a little out of like pocket, but what about a new Mario versus Donkey Kong? Like with all the minis? I think that'd go kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be interesting too, because like the one on the DS also had a stage maker.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Maker before Mario Maker.
Yeah. There was one on the Wii U too. Do you think that one had a stage builder? It was built pretty
Tipping
similarly.
stars? I think that was the You could like tip stars to people. I remember playing that one.
Yeah, and it was also like a cross by a thing with the 3DS in quotes.
Yeah.
In quotes.
I never
very
played
heavy
the
quotations.
I never ever played the 3DS version. I just played the Wii U one.
Yeah. I know something is slipping through the cracks, but I'm just pointing out that like the amount of creativity that a WarioWare game would give you is like scarily more than anything else that you could make.
So consider what DIY on the DS already gives you. You've got like actually how many colors does
You
this
can
game
already
have?
make custom sprites. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. No, you already have complete freeform. Like not complete freeform, I think you're what's the limit? The smallest sprites are 8x8 pixels. I don't know what the biggest are. I want to say it's. No, wait. I can
I'm
math
guessing
this.
64 by
It's
64 if I had to guess.
Actually, that sounds right. Yeah, I have the game on me right now. I can test.
Check it out. Tell us the deets.
But there's also the thing that would be, I think, the thing that would be safest and the one that I would want the most is the music maker. I mean, that's already the only reason I play the game. So
It
like,
is time to make fully copyrighted midis. It's time,
I
it, is
just
time
don't
to
know
just
what
share,
else.
it is time to just share complete midis with everybody. Who just like upload entire Nintendo OSTs made from WarioWare.
I mean, if you're remaking it within their own game, they can't strike that, right?
I mean, surely they can. Surely
Yeah, I
they
shared
would
one
just
of my
they would just
creations.
upload fan remixes to their YouTube.
Yeah,
I could see them doing that.
I'm like, what the hell? I just loaded up one of the games I had made before. I have a Shroomish here. Why did I draw a Shroomish?
Roomish, that's funny.
Alright, let me take a look at what is the biggest one. Yeah, because it's a 4x4. It looks like it's a 4x4 of the smallest size, so I think that's 32 by 32, right?
Main hopes and dreams for Switch 2 is down with Joy-Con Drift and down with free update, quote unquote, for most games except maybe Splatoon, since this formula actually works there. Yeah.
I need a Mario Sports revival of some sort. They need to do those games justice.
Can I please get the Mario Golf that's good? I want a Mario Golf that's good.
I want Bully to have a good Strikers game again.
Dude. You know, Manny, I haven't really given you the floor very often. I'm sorry. Do you have like any thoughts on like the current things that we're talking about, like either just the Joy-Cons, how like the functionality with stuff like say fucking the mouse mode, what you kind of want for games with that sort of thing, anything?
Wait, I might be wrong. I think it is 64 by 64.
I was on the money, baby.
Yeah, but this is not 8 by 8. Yeah, no, it's 64 by 64. Those are your biggest.
I'm going to be honest, the only game I would care about having mouse mode would be Splatoon.
That's valid.
It might be so real.
Hmm?
I'm trying to picture in my head how that would work. Like, you've got one Joy-Con on like a desk or something, okay, and then you're using your left Joy-Con to like move and stuff.
That's what I'd imagine. Like, yeah, you have one on the desk. That's probably also how you're going to be how you're also going to be like shooting and all that stuff. And then the other one is just like for general like stick movement or other things alongside it.
So here's the big idea question: do we need to get like mouse pads for our Joy-Cons?
The Switch.
You know what I'm talking?
You know what? I really hope that just comes with the console, so it's like, hey, here's the official Nintendo Switch mouse pad, which they're not gonna call it a mouse pad. They're calling it the Switch pad.
Or it's like a joypad or something.
Oh, the joypad.
The
You know what?
con-pad.
Oh, con pad. Okay, you know what? I can see it. I can see it.
Maybe it's just me, but that sounds like a very like strange gaming position for a console.
I mean, it's kind of like just computer team shooters, right? You just swap out WASD for a Joy-Con.
A joystick.
Yeah, Joy-Con stick.
I don't know.
I could imagine L and ZR or R and ZR being bigger to sort of be mouse buttons.
The Nintendo Switch
that's
Fun
not all
Pad
you
costs
need.
$50.
Also, like, what if you still have to hit buttons on the mouse Joy-Con? Like, how's that? I
On
don't
the
know.
mouse Joy-Con, I mean, you still have more. I'd imagine more likely than not, your fingers are going to rest pretty nicely on the bumper and the trigger,
Right.
as like a left and right click. And then more than likely, your thumb might be like around like either the face buttons or the stick. You can click that down for like a middle click, or like a click on forward and back there.
I'm seeing the vision. I think it's gonna be one of those things I gotta get my hands on, and then I'll be able to form a.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I think the unique thing about it is like, I think that brings like more unique things to the table than you'd really expect, or than you'd really think. Because it's like, it's something that it is trying now that the Joy-Cons are trying to be this big all-in-one thing where it's trying to actually give you more options to how to play games, which I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Since now it's trying to function as pseudo keyboard mouse even more than just gyro aim. Now,
Picture this. We have the mouse Joy-Con, so they give us the internet browser back.
I was just getting ready to ask. Do you think they do that?
they're going to have to foolproof the shit out of this if they want to keep modding at bay, but probably.
I feel like I don't think modding is gonna be never.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's kind of almost an inevitability for a lot of consoles, but yeah.
It's just a matter of how long do they want to hold it off.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of we don't yet have a means of modding any Switch newer than 2018.
I wonder if it would be okay to mod the Switch after I get a Switch 2. Depends on how old your first Switch is, because modding is only accessible with older models.
Yeah,
It's based on the firmware. Launch year.
there's a
You should be
website where
fine.
you can- Yeah, if
So,
it's
like,
anything
you just
2017
can't.
or good.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's entirely
Yeah, if
based
you-
on the firmware.
There's a website where you can enter your Switch serial code and it'll tell you if it's moddable or not. But generally,
Join the Discord, Star.
anything before late 2018 is moddable. And given how, because I've done it myself, so I know how you like jailbreak your Switch. Looking at the Switch 2's model, it's just not going to be possible at all
Oh yeah.
until we have a new method.
Mm-hmm. Because the current method is very particular in how it's handled, and my best advice is to go on Amazon and find like I forget what exactly they're called.
RCM jig.
Yeah, an RCM jig. I have one on me right now.
I've got one in my Switch case, which I don't have on me right now, but
Yeah. Shame that they're trying to make it mod proof. I mean, that's just how Nintendo. That's just how like any modern console is right now. Like, what do you expect? Especially since with mods comes like typically easier access to piracy, like strictly just being able to
There is
do
that.
piracy and all that shit.
Yar har
I know it's just, but it's disappointing after 3DS and Wii Homebrew. I mean, that's entirely valid, but at the same time, the Wii U and 3DS are just kind of like, they're just. I see them as both Nintendo systems and just like systems that are handed to the community now, because it's just like, what is Nintendo gonna do with them now? Those shits aren't being supported anymore.
recently I got randomly recommended things you need on your 3DS modded 3DS video, and it had a Pokemon save editor.
Mm-hmm.
So I have power now.
I have a little.
Uh-oh.
I have a little application that's just called I forget what exactly it's called. NetPass, where it's just you're able to go to different virtual locations and get street passes that way. From
Oh,
the
I need
people.
that.
It's cool.
I might actually be able to finish Street Pass games if I have that.
Yeah. It's really nice since like typically after I'm just like there for a bit, I just like have 10 street passes. I check the street pass plaza, and I have people from like 10 different countries. And it's super cool.
Something like Street Pass would be cool on Switch too.
Yeah,
Street pass would be cool, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to lug around this $400 console. More than likely.
Right? I already don't take my Switch places. Like, I just use it like a home console. I wouldn't want to do that.
I'll take mine across campus, or if I'm going to hang out with friends back home. But you know, it's not like I'm gonna have my DS in my pocket at all times with the Switch.
I think I just kind of want something out of the console. Like I don't know what exactly. I just want something like fun with the main console menu when I get it at
Something
launch.
should like actually reward you for meeting people.
Yeah.
And granted, Street Pass you didn't really meet people, but at least you passed people.
Yeah. You pass by people that like just happen to have the console around. Like, it's funny. It's funny now that Street Pass is in a very funny state where it's like you're more surprised than anything if you get a Street Pass. It's just like, who is carrying around a 3DS in the year 2025?
Probably 3 people, and they're all on this couch.
Yeah.
Less people. Yeah.
The faceplates were cool on the new 3DS. And they still are cool. They just gave so much customizability to the console. But like over here in the US, it was a very premium thing.
Mm.
Very premium, very limited time, and you couldn't. By that logic, getting one that is actually from the US costs a lot of money. I should know because I bought one.
Hey.
Don't spend money on the new 3DS if you're trying to get it from the US. At that point, just get an import. And just stick with trying to figure out Japanese for a bit.
Can you set it to English or like?
No, it's Japan 3DSs are specifically region locked, but you can homebrew to at least like get English software.
Okay.
How much did mine cost? More than the Switch 2, more than likely. Or at least around that price. We'll see when the price gets revealed, but around that price.
Yahoo!
Speaking of price,
Ooh.
how much we think this sucker's gonna be?
$450.
I'ma be pessimistic. I'ma say 500.
Alright, we got a 450, we got a 500. Line up where
I think it's 500.
Moody's got a 500. Line up, where do you stand?
What if I just... You know what, I'm gonna just be snarky. $499.99.
Okay,
You
okay,
fuck.
buddy. Okay, buddy.
You.
$499 MSRP. Thank you very much.
Somebody get this man.
Okay, $449.99 MSRP. Okay, lock it in.
Lock it in.
Ah, shit, I gotta get out of here.
Yes. Yeah.
Come to Papa.
In reality, I don't really have a good gauge on it. I want to say 450. I want to believe that it won't be 500, but like I don't know.
I think that still in like it depends on what they're going to do with the first Switch. If they're going to keep it at $300 flat, then I think that 450 is the price that I'm expecting for that. If they're going to mark the first Switch down, which they likely won't, if I had to guess.
It's gonna depend on what they
mark
want.
it down, I think 400 might be more reasonable, but I'm not sure.
It's gonna depend like on I don't know.
So Star says, I paid 210 total for the system plus a set of reproduction faceplates, so I'm scared of what you're gonna say. Double it and give it to the next person. That's my response.
I think I've reclaimed my thought.
Yeah.
I think like the price of the Switch, like if they're gonna mark down the Switch one, it's gonna depend on how accessible they want either of them to be.
That is
because like
true.
if they want to have the Switch 2 be like the powerful one, and then the old models just be the accessible ones, then I can see every model getting marked down in favor of the Switch 2 being pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Consider the OLED then going to 300, and the regular model going 250 maybe.
Yeah, I'd get an OLED.
Yeah. Because the OLED's like generally just a nice model to have. The screen is very nice, and it's also just like it's the newest model, so it's just generally like it's nice. The screen is generally big. It's nice to play in. It's nice to play handheld. It's just kind of a nice thing to have. But I don't
It's
know.
also got the built-in wired connection
Yeah, that is also true.
for all the Smash tryhards who care about that too much.
And Splatoon.
Okay, fair.
Splatoon is kind of an important one.
Well, more people play that, so I'd understand it more, but, like... I don't know.
I hope Overwatch for Switch sure runs better.
You mean Marvel Rivals? They're going to
True.
release Marvel Rivals for the Nintendo Switch, right?
So
Switch
true.
2.
I think we're gonna have
God, that would be awesome.
Granted, I think that Strange Portals are going to make that shit run at 20 on the Switch too.
1DR Strange Portal and that console is dead.
See, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Mooney.
Same brain.
I knew it, Mooney. We had the same brain cell right there. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. There might be an issue.
I feel like there's just a lot of we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, I'm not gonna help with this next question.
Oh, great.
What are they gonna do with Mii's?
Probably the same thing they did with the Switch 1. They're just gonna be there.
Tucked away.
I hope they aren't tucked away. I miss them.
Have the semblance of the Mii's were only initially added because of Smash.
You know, you're not even wrong.
I don't even doubt.
They
I don't
did
even doubt
let you
that.
play them in Mario Kart because that was a thing,
Yeah,
and then they eventually made Miitopia.
They probably, honestly, you're probably right. They probably only added Mii's for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Smash Ultimate,
Yeah.
which is kind of a sad thing to say because it's like, looking back, I enjoy the Mii's still. They're still a nice thing to have. And clearly, when Switch Sports came around and people lamented the fact that Mii's just got culturally erased. More or less, it's just like everybody misses Mii's. People still like them. People
Here's the
still want
thing.
to see Matt.
Well, they did add Matt back at some point.
Hmm.
There's a secret final boss against him in the sword fighting mode.
Hmm.
Of Switch Sports. But the thing is, if they wanted to get rid of Mii's, they would have had to make Switch Sports a launch title. Then you've got the new characters, you got the alternative, and then the Smash translation's pretty one-to-one. You just change what they look like. You change their physics enough that if you just change, if you went along with everything else, it'd be fine. But then, nope, they didn't do that.
Yeah. I just kind of want to see Mii's actually be used for something because it's like they're a fun little avatar to make. They're expressive enough. With Mii's, I just kind of I want more out of them. Miitopia was cracked to hell with how much you could make just custom made Mii's or something like that. It's just like they give you so much to work with, but it's only for that one single game and nothing else.
Give us
If they could-
Tamagotchi life again.
Yeah, like just add the makeup to Switch 2. That'd be a big improvement for
Give
the
me the Check Me Out channel again.
Yes.
Give me the Check Me Out channel so that contest will go crazy.
It's
Use
not
that as
entirely
like
fair
a-
to say- Sorry.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. You go.
It's not entirely fair to say they did nothing with the Mii's because they wildly expanded color options for hair and eyes.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's not enough, but they did something.
Like Switch Sports? No.
Oh yeah, they added basketball recently.
Yeah,
Really?
and the 3-point contest sucks.
It's so much worse than Resort.
It's not it's like, well, now everybody's got to play together, and now it's a Mario Party minigame. It's worse. Y'all know three throw from this game? It's that, but worse.
Isn't it like the one from? Is it Wii Party or Wii Party U?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is just a Wii Party U minigame. Oh my god. I forgot that was a thing, and they just brought it into Switch Sports. That game makes me mad. That game's making me mad now. I don't want to talk about it.
I enjoyed Switch Sports for a little bit.
I
They did a good thing with bowling. That's it.
Yeah,
I think they lost a piece of the sauce.
they definitely lost a piece of the sauce with how I don't know how to even fucking talk about Switch Sports exactly. Like, there's definitely a word for it. Sanitized. It's very sanitized, which is weird considering that like we're going from Wii Sports Resort to Switch Sports, and I'm saying that the new game is fucking sanitized. How does that work?
Yeah, fewer sports.
There are fewer sports. There's less like charm to anything that you do in that game compared to Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports Resort had so many different things you can do. You had an entire you had an entire mode dedicated to literally just flying around an island. The entire island that the game is made out of, and just flying around it and learning about the lore that Nintendo decided to make for it, and it's so cool.
A
The
mode
other
so
one is
good
just-
they made a whole 3DS game about it.
True, you're so right.
Wait, they did what?
They made Pilot Wings Resort.
Oh yeah,
It was
That
like
game was fucking awesome.
yeah.
like that stage in Smash Bros.
Hmm.
I guess that does explain why there's a Woohoo Island stage, but then there's also the Pilot Wing stage that goes to Woohoo Island. That makes a lot of sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Someone at Nintendo really likes Woohoo Island. It's in Mario Kart. It's in.
No, not anymore.
Oh yeah, right.
I guess is it in the battle mode?
In Mario Kart 8, yes.
Okay.
They even made a whole theme for it because originally the Woohoo Island theme just had like a generic like Mario Kart 7 battle theme that was somewhat themed to the town.
Hmm.
And then in Mario Kart 8 they just made a whole remix of like Wii Sports Resorts theme, which was so
I think
cool.
they're pretty cool for that. They're pretty cool for that, yeah.
I'm gonna go listen to that on Nintendo Music.
Do you think you can play that in the background on Switch 2?
Oh, Nintendo Music?
Nintendo Music, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Or at least like add Spotify support, like PlayStation. That'd be so good.
They
They
didn't
would
just
never add
add
Spotify
Pokemon
support.
Legends
They're going to give you the Nintendo Music support for the Nintendo console.
on
I-
8 Deluxe. All
That
tracks.
would make me sad.
You switch Tomodachi like Utopia's me options. I would love that, but at the same time, we can only hope. We can only hope. Only hope,
I
pray, and dream.
I discovered something random. I was sifting through game OSTs earlier today. That apparently Mario Party Superstars has different title themes depending on which board was played last.
Yeah,
Like I noticed the background change. I didn't notice the music ever changed.
yeah, it does.
I didn't know that either.
Every game it changes to the title theme from the games that the board originated from.
How dare they do something cool like that?
However, I will have to dock points for the Mario Party 1 where it's not going back to not actually like looping all the way to the Super Mario Bros. Theme as well, or the Mario 1 Overworld theme, because it originally did that, but they don't do it anymore. Superstars.
Release the party cut.
I'm the only person that would ever give you this information. Or would even really care enough to give you that information or worry about it.
I also discovered that every Mario Party game has a tie theme, which you don't really hear because ties are just way less common in that game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But also, 8's tie theme goes so hard. why does
Oh yeah? Send it?
Yeah, I sent it. I might have to download it.
It's funny that they make the best tie theme for the game that you will never hear the tie theme for, because the two mini games that it can play for is a coin mini game and the 2v2 that is almost impossible to tie if both teams have brain cells.
Yeah.
I feel like
you only ever hear that if you literally did nothing.
yeah.
Hey guys, you want to hear the tie theme? Let's throw.
Then someone shoots at the last second.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! killing you with hammers now. Let's see. I pressed the B button. Might have to reselect characters.
A Goomba.
A Goomba.
Well, you know what time it is. I'm Yoshi now.
Yoshi. Good choice. Good choice.
I've abandoned Donkey Kong like Nintendo did to his old design. Wink.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Mario Kart now.
Wink.
I guess
All right.
I guess we're gonna talk about Mario Kart now, guys. How do we feel about the new Mario Kart of what we've seen with 24 players?
It's gonna be big.
It certainly is gonna be big.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
Are
I'm
you-
picturing it in my head. I'm picturing it in my head. Listen, so you're in first place, right?
Uh-oh.
You get blue shelled.
Uh-oh.
You are then at the mercy of the 23-player pack that is behind you. I don't like that.
You're gonna get Mario Kart so much harder.
Okay, you know what I really want that this Mario Kart to do? I still really
What's
want
that?
them to have like tracks that are clearly not designed for 24 players. Like they're thin enough to be designed for like other Mario Kart games. But
Yeah, that's just 8 Deluxe Baby Park.
Literally,
Yes.
honest. No, not 8 Deluxe. Double Dash. Give me Double Dash Baby Park. I don't
Oh.
want the guardrails. I want items to cross through the middle.
Wait, you're cooking with that.
That's the big fun thing about Baby Park is that items cross through the middle. You have all this shit flying around. You have Bowser shells literally just being on the track. You have a giant banana that can just show up sometimes. It's very hilarious, and I think that we need that energy back in this game.
What if
There
we
was
just
ever
got
an
like,
opportunity. Bring back the
character
Bowser shell.
specific super items in general back?
Yeah.
Honestly, if they're going to go with the game that like wants to give the player at least a bit more agency in how they play in a 24 player slugfest, giving players a special item would be a good idea. Just kind of unique to them.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, give. Here's a thought. Maybe if it's not a special item, just give options for like let's say this. Give options for say a weak, middle, and strong item that you prefer, and then have those items be more likely to be pulled for you. So like have a first place preference item, and then have a mid pack preference item, and then have a backup pack preference item. I think that would be neat. But I don't know. 24 players sounds very hard to work around, but I really hope that even with 24 players, there are still tracks that are very wacky to drive on. Because I've learned more and more that the tracks that I enjoy with Mario Kart are either maps that are either maps that like promote a lot of close quarters shit, or maps that are very unconventional in terms of like layout, having just weird turns, having weird gimmicks. Those are fun maps. Or even
What if
just
the
generally
24 player mode was like? What if that was like a different mode? So you had some tracks that you could only play with a smaller roster, but then you had some that could be played with a bigger.
not another 8-player Smash thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, never mind.
Do you think the 24 players gonna? Do you think they'll like do a battle mode?
They better do battle mode. I think that'd be
24 player
dude.
Shine Thief.
That's
No.
the easiest way to bring back elimination style battle, where it's like you queue up for battle mode and you play it like a battle royale, where as soon as you're knocked out, you just queue up for another game. You just queue up into a different room for another game, right? Y'all see what I'm cooking here?
God, that'd be cool. I see what you're cooking. Just Fall Guys it? Like
Yeah,
100%.
just Fall Guys it. Like, you can stick around and watch other players as they get eliminated if you want to stay in the room, but if you want to queue up into another room, you can just go do that.
I like that idea.
Set up like
Yes.
playlists so you can vary between battles and versus races, that kind of thing.
Oh, that would also be so cool. Like, just like a Mario Kart with just modern day options and like modern day sensibilities with general like UI and all that stuff, giving accessibility options, all that would be so nice.
Stares at the ring racers on the counter.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. 24 player battles is going to be absolutely nuts, though, if it is going to be a thing.
I'm imagining like just Shine Thief in itself would be so funny.
You know, that Shrine Thief would be hilarious. 24 player Bomb Blast.
No.
It's not going to work. But it'd be
It
hilarious.
will crash.
Hmm? Tony, what are you thinking with this Mario Kart on the horizon?
The item balance is going to be really bad with 24 players.
I'm fearing that as well. I'm certainly fearing that, but I'm not sure what, like, it's really making me wonder what they're going to do. Like, do I dare bring up the ring racers in the corner again and just like secondary fuel source question mark? Give people things that aren't items to work with.
This game's gotta have some kind of, like, gimmick to differentiate it from 8, especially if it's gonna be on the same console. Like, there's no way it can just run like regular Mario Kart, you know?
Yeah, no.
I just don't see
Mario
it.
Kart already has that. It's called coins.
Okay, coins are one thing, but coins are a very static source of fuel. Because coins, all that coins do is that they increase your top speed, and you don't have to spend. And the only way to lose them is by getting them knocked out of you. You don't spend them at all. What I'm talking about is like an active resource that you have to gain and then spend. Not something that you just have and you collect passively. Because the thing about Mario Kart 8 is that when you're at 10 coins and you're in the lead, all that time that you're spending up there is time that you're more or less being able to break away from everybody else, because everybody else, more likely than not, doesn't have 10 coins because they are in the pack. That's a reason why front running is so strong and like is generally strong in Mario Kart 8, or at least like generally a lot of the time if you're in a mixed skill lobby, there's going to be one player that's going to break away very, 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 very consistently. Because they're always gonna be topped out, and the only way to stop them is by rolling triple reds. Which, more often than not, if you're playing with frantic items, that's probably going to happen. So the game just turns very one-dimensional in how the game actually works. It's very first place breaks away, everybody else pulls them back with random offensive items from second place. It's very static when you're in a mixed skill lobby. It's not very fun. I hope that the new Mario Kart does something to remedy that, but I'm not sure what they want to do. But I think the best thing that they can do is just give like a secondary source of speed that you can get, outside of just item play with mushrooms or something like that.
Yeah.
Also, I've been noticing that none of us want to call this Mario Kart 9. Do we think it's gonna be called something else?
I've definitely heard enough people say Mario Kart 9. I feel like they're gonna pull an iPhone thing and just skip 9 entirely.
Mario
they did
Kart
that?
X.
Yep.
Wait, they did that. I didn't know that.
Yes, iPhones did that. There's no iPhone 9.
And the internal name for Mario Kart Tour is Mario Kart 9.
Oh. Yeah, we might be seeing Mario Kart X in our lifetimes.
I'm just saying, Apple did it, Windows did it, Mario Kart's doing it.
The number 9 is not real.
Yeah, the 9 does not exist.
Now, fellas, we've been talking a lot about gameplay. Can we talk about how good everybody looks in this game? Cause holy shit.
You're right. Everybody's looking very, very nice and crisp in this game.
I'm gonna need to
crisp and
relook at it all.
They have a much more like I want to say wondery style to them. I like it.
I feel like
I'm not.
I mean, I know it's probably a byproduct of there being 24 people, but it feels like everyone's really small.
That might all. Yeah, you're honestly right in how that might just be the byproduct of there being 24 players on the screen. You're having and the current track having to accommodate for that very heavily, considering that the road is incredibly wide. Here's the question of the day. Donkey Kong. What do we think about this guy? This new Donkey Kong?
I am confused.
I'm so happy he doesn't look constantly pissed off.
That's fair.
Because, like, Donkey Kong can be angry, but he's not an angry character, you know?
You know, he's just a silly little guy. Like, it's a
Funny,
silly big
funny
dude.
monkey. Yeah. He looks a lot more like Mario's friend. Like, I can buy it with how he looks now.
Yeah.
What the hell? What are they doing to Diddy? What are they doing to Diddy?
I don't know. I feel like you don't have to do much with Diddy Kong. I feel like he's fine.
Right.
But, like, I don't know. What are they gonna do with that guy?
Not putting him in the game.
No!
That's a real possibility, unfortunately.
$40 for him again? No. This
$40.
really is Mario Kart 9.
That was
Here we
my
are.
favorite Twitter account for a while.
$40 Diddy Kong, baby.
Hell yeah.
Alright, now hear me out, though. We get DK Jr. back.
But isn't that, like, Donkey Kong now? Question mark?
We
I'm
get
not
DK
opposed.
Jr. back.
But listen, that just like shatters the DK lore. I can't believe that's a sentence I'm saying
Bring
right
back
now.
the SNES sprite.
Actually, that'd be
Bring
kind
back
of
the
funny.
SNES sprites and do that with, like, the original 8 from Super Mario Kart.
Put the Super
like
Mario
an
Kart
entropy
sprite
thing,
in
you
the
have to-
modern cars.
You have to unlock them through the time trials.
That would be really funny if you had to unlock them from SNES retro courses.
Honestly, that'd be a cool way to unlock characters in general.
Oh yeah,
Do course
unlocking them
specific
through.
time trials.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I miss
Yeah.
unlocking characters.
Yeah, I was about to say, what the next thing, unlocking characters. How do we feel about that, and why do we want them back?
Can it not just be Gold Mario for 200cc? Thanks.
I mean, 8 Deluxe. I understand why they didn't want to have everybody unlock everything again except for the car parts. But like, I kind of miss it now. I really miss it now, and I really miss when like it felt like you had to do something in like with Mario Kart Wii and at least Double Dash. Like Wii,
I like
DS,
being
and
forced.
Double Dash all had like things you had to do to unlock the characters, especially Wii.
I like being forced to do stupid shit to unlock things.
Like,
I think Ring Racers has made me dislike the idea of unlockables.
that is valid.
I'm the exact opposite, I hate to say.
I think that Mario Kart Wii made me very much enjoy unlockables. Ring Racers is for a very select kind of person, and if you're not that kind of person, it very easily is able. It is a game that is very easily able to sway you away from that, especially with how it handles unlocks. But in my eyes, I think Mario Kart Wii did it almost perfectly, since it made you actually go through different modes outside of just Grand Prix. It made you, it made you say like, hey, actually like do some time trials, and hey, if you get good, you get some good stuff from it. You get a new like vehicle, you get a new character, you get all that fun, you get all that fun stuff. Hey, you can do the Grand Prix, and if you're really good at those, you can get a new character, you can get a vehicle, you can get all that fun stuff. It's like they're making you actually play more things outside of just Grand Prix, and they're making you actually learn tracks. It's nice, it's cool, it's fun, it's rewarding, it makes you do things, and it makes you feel good about unlocking stuff, since you actually feel like you're getting better at the game. Ring
Correct
Racers
me if I'm wrong. Didn't Mario Kart Wii have multiple, like, you could do it 2 different ways for some things?
There were some unlocks that you could do it for. You could get through 2 different methods.
I think that's the ideal. Like, just make a bunch of ways that you can unlock things. I think that's
right. The easiest way of doing it, if you're really wanting to have like the unlockables route, make everything still unlockable, like outside of like a few select things, just unlockable with enough time through just like playing the game normally.
It's like the Smash approach. You can either just play the game normally, or you can target things.
Exactly. Which, by the way, is exactly what Ring Racers does with its Chao keys. Because after a while, if you play long enough, you will just get enough Chao keys to unlock whatever you want.
Yeah, I just googled where certain things I wanted were.
Mario. At the bare minimum, though, I want a Mario Kart game that actually makes unlocks somewhat feasible and slightly rewarding in terms of like getting something out of the game outside of just like playing online, which I fear that with 24 players is something that the game will lean towards quite heavily. I really hope it doesn't lean just towards this being a very online-centered game, or like a game where a lot of the replay value is from its online. I really don't want that to be the case. That's the one thing I don't want from this game. I really want.
If I hear the word season, I'm going to scream.
Oh no, not seasons in a Mario Kart game, dude.
With the exception of like CTR Nitro Fueled, I don't think that's a good way to do a racer or just any game.
Mm-hmm.
If there are unlockables that you can only get during a limited time, that sucks.
Yeah, for a Mario Kart game, you can't do that.
No.
Tennis aces.
Because first and foremost, this is a Mario Kart game. Like, Mario Kart isn't just an online experience. Mario Kart's a very local experience too. Like an experience that a lot of kids, a lot of them are gonna get their experience from like offline, for the most part. So like giving offline play actual substantial content is a very important thing for this game, and I hope that they do that. You know, here's like me reaching very, very, very hard. What about knockout? What about like a knockout style game mode?
Like an F-Zero? Or F-Zero 99, really?
I guess in a sense. I was thinking more along the lines of like the custom Mario Kart thing. That's been going around all over the like Mario Kart Wii. Again, there's just a custom knockout game mode where every race, the bottom 2 or 3, like every race or every n amount of races, the bottom cut of players just get eliminated until only a few select amount of players remain. Which, in a sense, that is kind of just an F-Zero Grand Prix, huh?
Yeah.
I think that they can definitely get away with that. I feel, you know what? That would be, I think that should be how they do Grand Prix, actually. I think that'd be cool.
I think that encourages a big roster, so I agree.
Yeah. If they're gonna have these 24-player tracks, and like if they want to still have tracks that are like, I think they should. I think they like. If they really want to get the most out of this game, they still have to design tracks that aren't like explicitly designed around 24 players, which I'm not sure how like they'd really balance that well, like, or really like what they would do with those tracks, because they need to also balance difficulty as well, because a lot of good Mario Kart tracks are also difficult. And I feel like if Mario Kart has started to try to pull its punches now, I feel like it's kind of a little unfortunate, because what's a good Mario Kart without a good Rainbow Road that's actually pretty challenging? Like a good Bowser's Castle, or just like a good Special Cup. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like if they still have like smart steering or accessibility options like that, they might just say fuck it, Wheat Ball. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But that's being optimistic.
Do you guys think 24 players will be the standard mode, or will it be like 8-player Smash where it's more of a side mode?
If it's a gimmick, I'll be a little annoyed, but I get it.
I wouldn't want it to be a gimmick, but at the same time, I'm not sure. I feel like 24 players is like a very, very, very strong marketing thing, but I'm not sure how well that's going to hold up in terms of raw gameplay is the big thing.
I think the moment you restrict anything to 24 only, or you can't do this with 24, is where it gets like weird, because like I think Vent mentioned earlier, or I guess everyone, I think 8-player Smash and Smash 4. No.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like how it is in Alt, though, I think we're good.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think it's fine if they have like, here's my thought process here. Every stage has 24 player starts in mind, with like all like the 24 player grid in mind and all that. They still have that, but if there will be some tracks that like say either like have like caution labels on them saying like, hey, these aren't designed for 24 players. Try to filter this out if you don't want to play like that. Because I think if they're going to do something fun with Grand Prix, they should go with an element with like bottom cut goes down, bottom cut gets eliminated type of thing for Grand Prix, where it starts with 24. After a few races, it goes down to maybe 16, and then down to 8.
Like
that way you can have like that way you can have the really big lobby. Then you can have the still fairly big but less like chaos lobby of 16, and then the more classic lobby of 8. And then 12 can kind of slot in between the 8 and 16, where those can kind of work relatively well together. Because I think that 4-player Grand Prix with that. Do you think Nintendo would actually be smart like that? No, but I can have hope. Actually, no. With Mario Kart, I feel like they would have to be at least relatively smart to understand that 24 players, not everybody can really work with them. You can't just fit everybody onto a track and hope that it works.
Yeah.
If I was developing this game, I would very heavily keep in mind that this is going on a system that is on, or that has 8 Deluxe on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if people really want that 12-player, like, OG, you know, like, they have it right there.
Yeah.
And it's, like, the most sold game on the Switch right now, still,
By
I
a
think, right?
landslide.
So, and I feel like this might just be, like, a gimmicky game. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know.
it's like I think the big thing that they have to do is just like, if they want to make this game as presentable and cool as possible, they have to really spice up how they're going to make the main game look. Make even the Grand Prix different. You gotta make everything like uniquely different in its own specific way. And I think that the way that I'm kind of envisioning Grand Prix right now is kind of the way to do it, because it's like now there's a lot of tension going around. It's like it kind of brings back the old way that Mario Kart the old Mario Karts did it, where it's like if you're in the bottom half for too long, or just like if you finish bottom half too often, then you're just knocked out of the game. Maybe for multiplayer there'd be a failsafe there for it's like, hey, if you're in multiplayer and at least one player makes it along, then everybody still advances, something like that. But I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Because obviously multiplayer is still an everybody still wants to play the game sort of deal. You don't really want to leave players high and dry. But I think that's kind of what I'm thinking they would want that they should do. If they really want to make this game like unique with the 24 players thing, but also still have the variety and track the design that they should strive for in a Mario Kart. Learning a lot of this because of how Ring Racers is designed around 8 people.
There's stares at the ring racers on the
Stares
counter.
at Ring Racers.
Are you ready for the Mario Kart 9 vs 8 Deluxe War?
I
I'm tired, boss.
God forbid we get 2 Smashes on the same console.
God forbid.
Smash is well. I feel like anyone who plays Ultimate at this point, like, either doesn't care about the game or cares too much about the game. So like a new one would just help.
Yeah.
I think it's in the same boat as Mario Kart, where they've really juiced the core format of all it's really got.
Mm-hmm. So
I think Smash has got to do something new too, admittedly.
yeah.
But that's
The
getting
The
into
thing
Smash
is, Ultimate
discussion.
and 8 Deluxe are probably going to have more content than the new games.
Right.
That is a big thing. It's like, how could you outperform the 96 track behemoth of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Unless they plan around
it's
that.
by making a battle mode that's actually good and actually has good content and actually has a lot of content. Please.
You got a point there.
You have 8
Just-
stages in battle mode in the original game. You have more cups than you do battle stages.
I want presets. I want like stage playlists. I just want this to be a very customizable, like get 4 people in a lobby on a stream, say, and just like have some kind of stupid gimmick lined up for that day. You know? Like I feel like that'd be
that would be. This is reminded me of the Jamboree in the Room and how that doesn't have a house rules section. I really hope the new game, wink wink, has a house rules option for the next game. That would be so cool, Nintendo.
Are you referring to Party Project now?
Party Project's cool. We should go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish up sprites for Ciala. I'm going to make you guys play this as well once I get more characters. Who do you all want for the Party Project? Who do you all want to have for Party Project to play as?
Guess.
Just Cat.
A PNG of Danny DeVito, crusty as possible.
Quarrington. You're getting Quarrington.
Quarrington?
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I thought I'd just be Tyson or something, but
No. You gotta be the voices.
Voices. Alright, well, if I gotta go silly, then what's silly?
Oh. I don't know. I'm like, this was just like me spitballing about just like how just like games, how like modern Nintendo games don't give you very many options, and how I really hope that they start doing that at some point. I really don't like having to play Nintendo games. They're very specific, intricately designed way. But
Would you rather have games? Infinite games, but no games.
or unlimited bacon, but no games.
We'll
Fellas,
get house
I
rules
hate.
when they add volume options to Splatoon.
Oh man, you can't just do this to me.
Do they not let you mute the music in
Nope.
Splatoon?
Really?
It's all immersive.
No, I
It's
want to
fucked
hear.
up.
I want to hear the inkling noises and nothing else. Funnily enough, you can get that experience in Smash.
Yeah, you can. Smash just gives you all the volume options in the world, but that's just because Sakurai.
That'd be Sakurai.
Thank you, Sakurai.
That's just a Sakurai.
Could we get an? Could his new project please be Kirby Air Ride 2? I need a new one.
Oh, I need Uprising first.
Well, I mean, in all fair, I mean, there is like a. I know that there is like an Air Ride / like Chow Garden game that's being made by someone.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Sounds fucking
I don't remember what
awesome.
it's called, but it is something that is like currently just being developed, and there's at least like a trailer on Steam.
Holy shit, that sounds amazing.
I'm the one frothing at the mouth about it. You know, that game seems awesome because like Air Ride is cool as hell with City Trial, and Chow Garden is also cool as hell. So just having both, we're getting off topic.
Holy shit.
You know what? To get to March kind of back on topic here.
I'm sorry, but also kind of not. Because this has been a nice conversation.
Yeah, it's alright, it's alright. Just to can I get back on the topic? Smash Run at the new Smash game, if there will ever be one? Question mark.
God.
Just make that. If we're not gonna have a city trial ever again, make that this new city trial. Just like make the Smash Run but better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue, Smash Ultimate solution.
I promise you that if you make a Smash Run for your new Smash game, you do not have to care about Smash Ultimate. It will still sell millions.
That's probably fair.
Or just like plug the new mode into Smash Ultimate. I would pay $30 for Smash Run in that game. I won't lie.
Maybe
little.
if they just do more Smash Ultimate on Switch 2, that'll force them to balance the game. The problem then is,
Do we really
I mean,
want to?
can they
Do
do
we
that?
really want to try and balance Smash Ultimate at its core right now?
not really. I want redesigns.
Exactly. We just want a game with redesigned characters.
I would like Ganondorf to actually be Ganondorf, please.
Can Donkey Kong be more than just Ape Guy?
Lenup, you just made me think of Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf in Smash, and man, that sounds so good.
The part that sucks is if you put Tears of the Kingdom Ganon Smash in, or put Tears of the Kingdom Ganon in Smash, it probably would keep his moveset and actually make sense for once.
Time to do a cutting half the Smash roster Blastcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, you know
that's a
what?
good one.
You know what? Actually, you're right. I honestly would dig that.
We are
What do you got on
killing
the list
every
right now?
Earthbound character.
All 2 of them.
Correct.
We're gonna do like I think we should do like a similar style to what the post marathon Blastcast ended up being, where we like for every character we rank how often they were struck.
That would be pretty funny.
Put to the sheet.
How many Fire Emblem characters are getting cut?
We save this for the actual cast because that's a good idea.
Yeah, wait.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I will shut up.
We'll brainstorm. We'll brainstorm ideas for that later.
Though, hey, actually, no, I'll save that too. I was gonna shout out a YouTuber I like who did the same thing, but he's not a coward. That's in the title.
Was it Mock Rock?
Yep.
I knew it. Mock Rock's the goat.
Mock Rock's pretty cool,
Rock.
yeah.
Never heard.
He does a lot of he does a lot of commentary. Like, he doesn't play a ton of Smash, but he does a lot of talking about Smash and related games, and he has also a 4-hour retrospective on Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
He also has a 6-hour video on ranking every Pokemon and how much sense they would make in Smash.
That I want to go watch that now.
Alright, fellas.
It's a good one.
To get kind of back more on the topic of the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about like random miscellaneous things. First off, hardware specs. What's the initial storage on this thing? What are we thinking? What's the ballpark?
Remind me what the Switch current is.
Switch's current storage is, I'm pretty sure, vanilla is 32 gigabytes, and the OLED, I believe, is at the 64 or 128. I think 64.
For completely
60.
unrelated.
Alright, hear me out. I think it should be at least 64. But what if they just also gave you a small SD card, like 3DS did?
That'd be cool.
I'm going to ignore that response.
We're not regressing that much.
Oh my god, Moody would start for 40 seconds, and now 40 messages were deleted by a moderator. Wonderful.
Oh no.
Oh my god!
That's so
We've
funny.
upset someone.
That's actually hilarious, though.
We're all in agreement this thing's at least gonna be as powerful as like a PS4, right?
Yeah. I think that's the benchmark, right?
Okay. Considering it's a portable console,
Ow, I got shot.
I don't think it'll have the same amount of storage as a PS4, which on a Google is like 500 gigabytes. I'm gonna lowball it at like 180.
Also, Star,
think
I
it's-
will say that wasn't me, that was Moody. I did nothing. But 180, huh?
Honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 260 or something like that.
I don't think I have any thoughts to add here. It's like it's gonna be more. It's got to be more than the Switch. But if it's if it's portable and hopefully stronger, then it's probably not gonna. I don't know. I don't know what the balance there is. I would compare to the Steam Deck if I knew anything about it.
That is a good. Hold on.
The Steam Deck has different storage options, which cost variable prices.
Oh, she's right. Yeah.
Because I think there's a 256, a 512, and a 1 terabyte different version of the Steam Deck. Which I think those all range from around 500 to 700, I'd guess. I think around there. I don't know.
256 one is for 400.
Oh, for 400. Okay, so if that's 400, then the Switch 2 should be perfectly fine at around 400, right?
I
Right?
concur.
We thinking that?
Yeah, that's just gonna depend on.
I guess it depends on how much they decide to charge for the Joy-Cons alongside it.
I've got an out there one. Do we think Switch 2 games are gonna be $70?
I hope not.
$69.99 MSRP actually.
I'm gonna scream.
Listen, I didn't have a good answer, so I just went stupid.
I know, I'm being retroactively reactive. I don't know what the fuck the term is. I'm just taking the piss.
Fair.
What are like current PS5 games going for right now? Are they going for 70?
Depends on the publisher.
This one is strictly just Nintendo, and if they're, I don't know. Tears of the Kingdom felt like a one-off thing. I don't know, like, because Tears of the Kingdom was Breath of the Wild sequel, but also a glorified like physics engine debut.
They did revamp the entire. Like, even if it may look the same to the average player, but it's completely rebuilt.
You know, it is built to the point. It is built to the point of scaring game devs, like all of them.
Yeah.
I remember falling into the underground for the first time in that game, and I was like, "Oh, that's why I paid $70."
You paid $70
I remember
for
jumping down there
both the
expecting there to
underground
be
and for the physics engine.
Yeah, I think I'd be more okay with $70 if there wasn't DLC.
Hmm.
This is a very fair point.
Now, free updates are a little different. I'd love to have the game complete, at launch, but I'm also not opposed to getting more content that I don't have to pay for.
Yeah. Star Allies was kind of like the first real big game that kind of made me think, this game doesn't feel complete right now, and I bought it at when I kind of got it at launch. That's because it wasn't complete at launch, and then there were like 5 different updates to make the game complete.
Sorry, which game?
Kirby Star Allies.
Oh, yeah, no, that game was just not done.
It wasn't done, but then it was done.
And it was really good after it was done.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, the base game was still a baby game, but you know. Animal Crossing
I liked all the
Horizons
Dream
did
Friends.
for me, which makes me very upset in hindsight.
yeah.
Yeah, and Horizons was also a game that was kind of just did that.
I really hope they do Animal Crossing. I want to say they did Animal Crossing justice, but just like the post-launch, I don't know.
Sorry,
I need
never
this-
got another tier of the Nook store.
Yeah, like they just need to kind of devolve a little bit. I almost want to say. They went too far in the customizable direction, and a lot of the charm suffered because of it.
Yeah. And it's also a very big, it's also like, You know what I really hope for in just these new games in general?
What's that?
I want there to be character in the UI again. These games. I miss when there was character in the UI in terms of like fonts, in terms of like designs, just in terms of anything in terms of the UI. I miss the character that was in them. Super Mario Party can like, I don't know, go bite me or something.
We need a goober.
I just Mario spin-off game actually have character challenge. Impossible. Fucking possible. Literally impossible. Cannot have that.
We're never gonna get another the baseball one story mode again.
Where can we stop using the same can we stop using the Wii Sports Wii Play Wii Fit font now, please? Please, it's been almost 20 years. I understand it, it's cool and it's slick and all that stuff, but like, can we stop using it, please? It would be really cool.
I've got the coldest take of all time.
What's up?
Right for it.
At some point in this next console's lifetime, or maybe hot take, I don't know, we will see an ARMS sequel. I'm putting money on it.
ARMS sequel.
Respectfully, I hope you're wrong.
Me too.
I don't know if that game deserved. I don't know how well did ARMS do even.
I don't know.
It got a lot of updates after it came out. I'm pretty sure they added some characters.
The big issue with ARMS is that they tried to make another Splatoon without actually making another Splatoon. They didn't actually like flesh out the game enough to be a full Splatoon type of thing.
Yeah, I think when also if you factor in Smash's reputation and how much damage Min Min did to the community, I don't think general Nintendo fans are going to take too highly to Min Min getting another game. Like, the Smash fan base is a mess, don't get me wrong.
Like,
but they have that reputation does something.
Like, I will not lie in saying that I can see some like theoretical potential in a new game if they can actually iron out some shit that was like that there were issues with in that game. But like, you just have to like you gotta do something. You gotta do something with it. Because it's clear that Splatoon was a rare success despite debuting on a failing console. Yeah, like, Splatoon was a fresh, new thing. It was a completely new, unique thing. ARMS was an arena fighter, more or less. Which, granted, for Nintendo is certainly a new thing to do. But it's like, that catches on a very niche audience, and like, especially for Nintendo, it's incredibly niche, that kind of thing, because like, Nintendo has Smash, and that is a platform fighter, because that is super simple and easy and all that. ARMS is not that, so what do you do with ARMS? Is like, I don't know. Like, I can almost see something, but I can't quite envision it in my mind. So it's like, I don't know.
I mainly propose this because it would be funny.
It would be funny.
Yes,
It's Nintendo's neat little magic trick of, hey, watch me like burn $1 million.
Let's do it. Yeah.
More realistically, I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be launch. I do.
Launch. You know, that might be... That'd be one hell of a thing to launch with, actually.
I feel like there's
Sure, it'd be cross with the original Switch, but still, it'd probably have performance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's like an almost even chance of a launch title in Prime 4 or Legend ZA.
Mm-hmm.
I expect
Ooh.
Legend ZA to be a November release. Because that's what Pokemon normally does. So whether they release the Switch 2 around the holiday, around then, or they go for Prime, which might be a little bit sooner. You know, I can see both happening.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose we'll have to wait until the Switch 2 Direct in 2 months.
Wait, Legend ZA is still in development and just probably not coming out of the Switch 1 at this rate?
Well, see, I don't think the fact that we haven't gotten news is because something went wrong. I just think they didn't want to tell us anything yet. And, you know, if you could go off this, the game had the Switch logo when it was revealed, so it probably will still be a Switch title.
Mm-hmm.
But the Switch 2 will probably be out either making it a launch title or before then. Yes, this is good for Game Freak for them actually taking time.
For once.
Holy shit.
It is good that they're taking time. I'm very glad we didn't get a 2024 game, unless you count TCG Pocket, but eh.
Like, I mean, it's saying something that, like, that the fun has now stopped after Scarlet Violet.
Yeah. Like, they still released DLC for the game. They probably were halfway through developing it before they realized people didn't like the game, so they just had to release it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're like, okay,
still sold
this is a
bunch
problem.
of copies, so
Let's
it's
wait.
like, you know what, we're releasing it anyways.
Because they probably were, like, developing Scarlet Violet. They saw the success in Sword and Shield's DLC, and for good reason. I think the DLC genuinely helped Sword and Shield go from mediocre to pretty good. Scarlet Violet did not do the same thing because they had the same problems.
Mm-hmm.
The story and character is genuinely phenomenal, but the performance makes a significant portion of people just can't enjoy it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Granted, it is still the second best-selling Pokemon game.
Hmm.
But I don't think sales have anything to do with game quality.
Yeah.
A weird part of me wants this to be a Switch 2 exclusive. I know it probably won't, but I just want to see what they can do with, you know? Like, I just want to see them at their best.
It's hopeful that they can actually, like, I don't know. I just want this game to be like, I just want this new Legends game to be good. But, like, to be generally polished as well, like, in terms of quality. But, like, Legends Arceus, I heard was, you know, good game.
Legends
Same,
Arceus. You go first.
I just haven't bothered with it, that's all.
Yeah, I say Legends Arceus is really good because it does something, like, you go back in time, right? So you're able to see sort of a new take on catching Pokemon, and you get to literally aim and throw Pokeballs yourself. It's not just, oh, you send out your Pokemon, they do most of the work. You can catch Pokemon yourself. That's really cool.
Hmm.
The story is... Honestly, the story's darker than they usually go. It's not insane, right? No one's gonna die. It's still Pokemon at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it gets a bit intense towards the end, which is cool. Your character is canonically older than they've ever been before.
Hmm.
What else? I mean, it's also... Alright, here's the weird part. Legends Arceus felt closer to an open world game than Scarlet Violet do. And that's not even a performance thing. in Legends Arceus, the areas are generally pretty cool looking. There's a difference between aesthetics and graphics. Aesthetics are on point. And the fact that sometimes when you're wandering throughout the game, there isn't any music, just feels more like you're roaming about the wilds, right?
Yeah.
So they captured that sort of open world feel better than the actual open world game. So if Legends ZA does anything like that, they're doing something right. And I have a suspicion, based on the whole tweet from Nintendo of America that said that it takes place entirely within Lumiose, that this game's gonna have a good ass story. Because otherwise, you might not have anything.
Entirely within a city. How are they gonna do dungeons? You're just gonna like crawl around London sewers? Or like the catacombs? You guys know about the catacombs? That'd be a cool
That's
dungeon.
generally what people are theorizing about, because it's Lumiose is based on Paris.
Paris, yeah.
So that's people have genuinely theorized about that. And one thing I theorize about is, like, you're not gonna be able to catch Pokemon thoroughly enough in a city, so you're still gonna be able to like go out in the world to catch Pokemon. But then the story is gonna be in the city.
Living in the city. Sorry.
No,
I have so many theories for this game, but we'll have to see. We have about 26 days until we'll have something, I
The
think.
Pokemon brain rot has certainly come into fruition right now.
I'm not complaining. I've been interested with this game. I
Yeah.
do think this one's gonna be a good one. I have confidence. They've been cooking on it for a while.
Oh yeah, me too.
I think it's cool that they're actually giving Gen 6 some time to like be more fleshed out than it was, since it kind of just got shafted really hard.
It deserved a third version so bad.
See,
Yeah.
Legends EA is where like the bulk of my Pokemon actually listens to the fan base more than they think argument comes through. It's like, hey, we never got Pokemon Z because fans wanted ORAS. And we're finally now getting Pokemon Z, despite the fact that Legends Arceus, statistically, did not sell that well.
Yeah.
It never broke 8 million, which is, it's a single game instead of a dual release. But even then, that's less than half of like Scarlet Violet and Sword and Shield. But they're making another one because people liked it.
Plus, I mean, as it turns out, still almost an 8 million copies sold game is very strong for just anything.
That is true. It's just for the Pokemon chart.
And for the Pokemon chart,
Relatively
obviously
low.
it's rather weak, but like still, in the grand scheme of things, for something that is labeled as a spin-off,
So yeah, the fact that they're calling it Legends again, and they didn't just go for a legendary name this time. They went ZA specifically. They've got something cooking there.
And Gen 6 was a Pokemon Techno. It entirely was.
It really was, in hindsight. Like,
it was an incredibly rushed product that had to be like, you had to make models for every single Pokemon. You had to make modern models for every single mon, and those models have to be good enough to stand the test of time. Which they
Well,
do.
and the sheer amount of them that changed in Scarlet Violet should tell you that. To tell you how well they didn't.
Well, Well,
To be fair, though, Scarlet Violet.
in a sense, like, the models themselves are fine. It's just you have to animate them.
Yeah. That is where it fell apart. Like, the models are fine enough, but they're just... The idle poses, maybe,
Look
are
at what they
weak.
did to my boy Electros, dude.
What is he doing there?
Look at how they massacred my boy.
God, we have to do some kind of Pokemon project. Like that we all like Pokemon so much. I think that's
Would be cool to find something.
Yeah. So the Switch 2, right? You were talking about that?
and games for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still stand by. I think ZA is gonna end up being a both title, because even if you consider, like, it took Pokemon a long time to go from handhelds to the Switch. Like, the Switch was out when they made Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah,
They waited
I
a little
think
bit
that's
there.
right.
Oh wait, no, wait. Yes. Yeah. No? Yes. Sorry, my timeline's all off. My timeline's still off, actually. Nope, I'm back. Okay, we're good. Yeah. What I
Chill.
said was right.
Okay.
So yeah, I would still expect ZA to be a Switch title that just maybe is better on Switch 2 if they're doing that. But I don't
Let's
expect
see.
it to be an exclusive.
Talked about Mario Kart. We've talked about Prime 4. Talked about Legends ZA. Other than those games and Donkey Kong that just came out, what does Nintendo have going right now?
I don't know.
You say and Donkey Kong that just came out as if that isn't a remake of a 3DS port
I'm
of a 12-year-old game.
I'm trying to give them
Actually, no, a
credit,
15-year-old game. Sorry,
and
So
they
do we.
fucked up the multiplayer
they did
again. I actually
Again.
watched the video and I realized that my 3DS comment was awfully off. Like
Yeah, no, it was the thing from 3DS, and they fucked up the thing from because it was the thing that was fucked up on the 3DS. They didn't fix it.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even know there was something wrong on the 3DS.
Yeah, it was the multiplayer thing, which
Funny,
since it was
then
on the
that's
3DS, you probably wouldn't notice since you're because how are you gonna get somebody else to play Donkey Kong Country Returns with you on the 3DS?
I mean, I did for a solid while. One of my church buddies.
Ah,
How did you do the temple level based on like bouncing on enemies?
I don't actually know if I ever did.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely not in multiplayer, but I don't know if I ever did in single player either.
God, I want a new Donkey Kong so bad. So
Yeah.
bad. Like, iterate on 64, make a new 3D one. I don't care. Just do something with him, please. The man's been AFK for... When was Tropical Freeze released?
Like, what-
Tropical Freeze? That was a 2014 game.
And then counting the remaster, that was when?
2018, I think.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. On the bright side, DK is one of those franchise like minus 64. You can play every game on the Switch now,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Only other franchise I can think of like that is Pikmin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pikmin has had a weird renaissance now.
I guess you can almost the 2D Metroid series. You're missing the remake of 2.
Yeah. But otherwise, you have Nestroid, you have Return of Samus, you have Super Metroid, you have Fusion and Zero Mission, and you have Dread.
Yeah, you just don't have Samus Returns, which is like leagues better than Return of Samus.
Right. Plus, it's very close to it's very close to Dread in terms of like general gameplay. It's just that Dread feels so amazing to play. It's very tight, but at the same time, like when I tried playing Dread, like I guess this is just more of a general Switch podcast now. It's just like talking about games.
Oh, that's fair.
But like, I feel like Dread, for as fun of a game as it is to control, I haven't beaten it yet. I got to the point of the big scene where Samus learns that there was still like Chozo out there, and she actually talked to one, and then that Chozo got murdered in front of her eyes. So I know that I'm close to the end of the game, but it's like I just don't know what hasn't drawn me back to keeping on playing it. But it's like Super Metroid. I have played the game and I love it for the fact that it is wholly unique in what it does, and the map is very fun to explore on your own. You're just kind of left to your own devices. The game will still guide you places, and you'll still be able to find your way around. And it's like Metroid Dread Metroid Dread almost obviously simulates that. And there's nothing that lets you like do things that the devs don't intend you on. Even skips the devs intend. Even skips in the game, those skips are there because the devs put that there intentionally as a skip that was like, hey, you can do this actually. Like, it's all like, I don't know. It's all synthetic with Dread in a sense. I don't know how to feel
Feels
about
slightly more handholdy.
Yeah, like your outside of the box thinking with that game is more so just the thing that you can think of, but at the same time, you can think of it because the devs intended that you can think of it. Not something that you can just think of with your own intuition and just like, hey, you can do this. You can do this to get to this area. You can do this to get to this area. But I know that's just from the fact that it wants to tell a story, and I respect the fact that it's telling a story. But god damn it, I like Super Metroid. I just like Super Metroid, guys.
It's the game that got me into the series. I can't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did have a thought on the vein of you could play the entire Metroid series on Switch. How do you think they're gonna handle changes to Switch Online?
My guess is that if it's going to be a full system transfer, there's going to be none.
I feel like that'd be ideal.
Please update it. Add a border. Please add a border or something. Like I need more options on that thing. Please.
I hope it's not just a garish red icon on the menu though. That would be a hope.
I think we'll get another selection of games.
Do we mention the dreaded GameCube?
I think if we get GameCube, it's a hard stop there.
I'd imagine so.
I could maybe see DS, but also probably not.
With the mouse controls, I see the vision, but I just don't know, man. I don't see it outside of that.
Me trying to play fucking Mario Party DS and having to fucking slide my mouse back and forth in the cucumber minigame.
Oh, that's how you break those.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking get DS simulation, and that's how you break the mouse.
The cherry game.
Oh my, no,
That
never
game
mind,
sucks.
never mind.
You get rid of it.
Abort mission, stop.
But to be fair, if you offered DS games on the Switch, that would stop modders.
You know?
I mean, I guess. To what extent, though?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. That's just one less thing they need to mod.
We and above enters the $60 remake tier.
No, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Right on the head.
Considering the $60 Donkey Kong at the corner. $60 Kong.
And even when we get GameCube, I really feel like they're gonna be spotty with it. I do. I don't know.
We still have so
We're
few
never gonna
GBA
get Zero
games.
GX back.
Where is Wario Land 4? Oh my god.
Listed.
Twisted too. Twisted was fucking awesome.
Give me WarioWare smooth moves.
Sorry, we have WarioWare Move It. We're not getting the other one.
Right.
I forgot that game existed. I won't
give
even
me the Mega
lie.
Micro Games. I think for Nintendo GameCube Online, so that we can play GBA games. The GBA Micro Games.
That
online.
That would go crazy, actually. I would like that.
They definitely should do GameCube so they can justify having a link between the GBA and GameCube apps for something like Four Swords.
But
Four Swords Adventures, baby.
we did it before it was cool.
Yeah.
I'm also shocked that we don't have any, like, the one Pokemon game. Okay, we have Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap, and then on Game Boy we have a TCG game. Give me Gen 1, please.
I really don't think that's gonna happen, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it probably isn't. But if they do, though, that'll communicate perfectly with Stadium, and you can actually build Pokemon. And not just use the terrible rental sets.
That's too cool,
You
Lena.
mean you don't just want to play Stadium rentals all the time?
Well, I mean, Gen 1 and 2 suck as is, so maybe, but...
Oh my god, like doing online battles? Like playing the game alongside somebody else and every now and then doing like a rival battle? That'd be cool.
Yeah. You know, we could do a Pokemon Stadium thing.
They could.
The friend lock on the in the corner.
I played the mini games in that with a friend, with a home friend some time ago. But the mini games are actually really cool.
Yeah, the minigames are fun in that game. We just do a Switch Online tour.
Honestly,
Be kind of funny. Oh, we've been going for 2.5 hours. I don't know. Do we have any other things to mention about this whole console right now as we know it, or as little as we do know about it?
sure.
I think going in, I'm very confident solely because it has Switch library. And like, maybe this is a hot take. I don't think it is. Switch library is one of the best ones out there right now.
I think that's a fair thing to say.
Yeah, honestly.
Because there's just like so many ports and older games. Like I was just playing Devil May Cry 1 for the first time. That's pretty good.
Cool.
Like if there's any like retro series that you can think of, you can probably find it on the Switch, and I find that very cool. And just having that level of accessibility going into the Switch 2, I think that's a strong selling point on its own.
I would agree.
That being said, though, they really gotta either make it a lot better and more convenient than the Switch for me to want to get it immediately, or they're gonna have to make some good-ass games. Because as it is now, I really like my Switch.
And really, please make sure that we know that the Joy-Cons cannot break.
Like, specify it. Be straight up for, like, 2 seconds, please.
Yeah.
Please just, like, show us, give us interview proof that you did, like, the DS drop test or something.
Cut the showmanship for, like, 0.5. Nah.
This is when they don't cut the showmanship. My Joy-Cons broke again. I have to pay $100 more.
Okay. What's our most out there wish, like, game for this console? I'm gonna say, like, a new Wario platformer.
Most out there wish for a new...
Like, pie in the sky, you have all the rain in the world. What are you ordering?
I think both of my hopes have been mentioned. A possible DIY remaster or Uprising, Kid Icarus again.
My crazy hope. Pie in the sky. I got just like crazy ass hope. Dream.
You could bring stuff back from the dead, like, whatever, you know?
But sound like a broken record and sounding like someone that is been wanting this for several years, even though I've been wanting it for just about one. A new F-Zero, please. Waiter, more F-Zero, please.
Okay.
Just give me something, please. Those games are so good and stuff. Like, they all... I think the thing that's keeping me from truly wanting a new F-Zero, though, is the fact that generally, with how the games have been designed, at least the 3D ones, a big thing with the 3D games is your stick dead zone and your stick sensitivity. And you know what I don't have the greatest amount of faith in with Nintendo right now? The control stick. Which, you know exactly why they haven't made a new F-Zero, by the way? It's the fucking control stick. That's exactly why. I know for a fact that it's just like, we don't want to make a new F-Zero because we don't have any new ideas. No, the fuck you don't. You're just saying your control stick is ass. Because you have to be precise as fuck with that game, and you're saying you can't be precise as hell. I know, I'm on to you, Nintendo. I am on to you now. Fuck you guys.
That's funny as hell.
The Nintendo conspiracy theories.
This is my Nintendo conspiracy theory. Like, F-Zero GX, keep in mind, is a game that is designed both around the analog triggers and the tight control stick of the GameCube controller. So, not having both means that if they want to make another F-Zero that is somewhat similar to that, you kind of can't, because no analog triggers on the Joy-Cons, it seems like, and the control stick is probably going to not, like, the thing with the N64 and GameCube controller, like, sticks, is that like, with the N64 controller especially, there's a lot of like tension built into it. So like there's a lot of resistance that is built into the control stick itself to make it so that you can be very precise with where you're like moving your thumb and how you can actually move the stick. You can make very, very precise adjustments with the N64 controller. Compare that to the Pro controller where it's like compare that to the Pro controller where it's like movement is much easier, but at the same time there's not that same amount of tension or like resistance in the control stick. So because of that, it makes slight micro adjustments really hard which in turn makes controlling the game, like a game like F-Zero, work absolutely horrid on a Pro controller or something that isn't an N64 controller. That's the big issue with F-Zero, is that like for as much as I want a new F-Zero, I fear that they're going to fuck it up dramatically because of the fact that they needed a controller that actually works for it. It's honestly a similar thing to Super Monkey Ball of all things. Super Monkey Ball is very similar in the regard of the control stick is all you have to control that game, but because of how the control stick is actually utilized and how precise the control stick can be with the GameCube controller, it works really well. Because those micro adjustments are all you have to control the game. So, like, keep in mind, this is the game that was used for in like actual doctors' offices and shit. For like actual doctors. For like fucking, for like actually like a fucking I don't remember where I've actually heard this, but I remember this being the case in
What? Medically prescribed monkey ball? if
That's a funny sentence.
Have y'all played the new one?
No.
I think it's only on Switch right now, but I've heard good things.
I don't know if I've actually played a
this is a Polygon article. Doctors play Super Monkey Ball 2 to warm up before surgery.
Holy shit.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's really
So
funny.
research conducted at the hospital, more than 300 physicians over 3 years found that those who warmed up for as little as 6 minutes with a game like Super Monkey Ball 2 before performing simulated laparoscopic surgery were more efficient and helped them suppress errors.
Me when my doctor mains Gon.
Like, it's a game like that where stick precision is so key to games like that I'm concerned that I feel like stick sensitivity is so key to those games actually working well that I'm like, I don't know if I really want to put all my eggs in the basket of a new F-Zero, but I just want a game to be good. I want the new F-Zero to be good and for it to actually happen. Also, not Nintendo, but I would buy a real SA3, Chow World and all. Don't tell me that SA6 is Adventure 3. I mean,
We need to do a Sonic Blastcast.
we should. Be funny. I should play the Shadow Generations thing. I gotta do that.
Me too.
I need to get it.
I have original Generations. I've just been...
I have 3DS generations.
You poor soul.
Wonderful. I'd like you to keep in mind that the last game stated on the favorite Sonic game list for that game is Sonic Free Riders.
I'm gonna be so real. That game is technically Sonic Rush 4? Right?
Technically, yes. But like,
It's even got the 2 playable characters.
Oh yeah. Sonic and not Blaze.
They need to...
Mooney.
Sorry, I'm gaming. Oh yeah, Mooney. What's your pie in the sky?
Yeah. What's your secret wish?
Mario Baseball 3.
Cooking.
Are you sure about that?
Cooking.
The monkey's paw is curling in the distance.
No, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to Mooney. You can't do this to me. You can't do this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I loved Super Sluggers. Super Sluggers was the GOAT.
Shut the fuck up. Let them cook.
What?
No, the problem is they will cook. They will cook, but the monkey's paw. You must realize the monkey's paw. No, like real cooking, not raw baseball. I know, but like, do you think Bamco is really gonna cook? Do you think Nintendo's really gonna let Bamco cook?
Strikers didn't launch with Daisy. Do you really think they're gonna let them cook?
Let me dream. Oh, okay. I will let you dream. But just know that that when you wake up and you see that new trailer for a new Mario baseball game, and it fucking sucks ass, just know that we tried to warn you.
I don't even know what to say here.
Like, I'm just going to preface it now. I'll come up with the GameCube title if it's asked. True, I'm doing that. I'm doing that with Toadstool Tour. Yippee!
Go on.
And World Tour.
I did that with N64 Tennis. It is unironically better than not Ultra Smash, Aces.
Aces is so weird because it's like their core gameplay is honestly rock solid, but they forgot that this is a Mario game. That's the best way I
Concept
can.
of a tennis fighting game is really funny, but like I don't know.
Where's the Mario? Where are the items?
Should have been one of those like tennis anime games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have done
it's
a
made
lot
by
of
Camelot
justice.
games. I feel like that would be entirely expected of them, considering they also are the guys that made all the like Mario Tennis and Mario Golf OCs.
True.
They would make. I'd honestly fuck with that. If Super Rush and Aces were like just generic anime titles, generic anime golf and tennis titles, I'd fuck with those, honestly, 100%. But the fact that it is Mario Golf and Tennis without the Mario, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
Wait, holy shit! This is a Groundhog Day special.
Hmm?
It's Groundhog Day tomorrow, guys.
Oh shit, you're right.
Apparently, the groundhog is a father this year.
Oh.
I don't know. I just saw a random news article.
Wow.
All right then.
All right. Come back tomorrow for where we do this again.
Good one.
Come back tomorrow where we talk about the Switch 2 for another 3 hours again.
I'm not going to be entertaining.
Mm.
No.
Are we potentially done here, theoretically?
Is it time for the last blast?
It might be.
Possibly.
Ah.
Oh.
I spoke its name. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna blow.
Oh.
I was right.
Overall, though, we would say we're feeling confident in this new console.
I would say yes.
Not that
Y'all-
any of us are gonna get it day one, question mark.
If I'm in a good enough situation financially, I might. Just depends.
I feel like just day one comes with risks of,
Shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
getting it. But then also...
Depends on what it launches with.
That is
Yeah.
also true.
I think we should do this again when the next direct happens.
Honestly, I'm down.
Honestly, yeah.
When is that direct? It's April 2nd. Okay, so it'd be 3 days later we'd be talking about it again. It'll be
Nice.
real fresh in my mind.
Yeah,
Like this time.
fresh off the block.
Silk Song?
I love it when a plan comes together.
Is that because I said Silk Song?
No, because I died.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not good.
yo,
I
if
got
they
blown up.
somehow show off Silk Song during that Switch 2 presentation,
That would
There's-
be the coolest thing, though.
There's the crackpot theory right now that there's a series of numbers on a website connected to Hollow Knight.
are you talking about Cake Theory?
Maybe.
I want to say that got deconfirmed. I kind of followed that. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong.
I saw a single. Well, I didn't even see a single video on it. A friend of mine watched a video on it, and I was sitting next to him. So that's the extent of my knowledge.
It was like some dev changed their profile picture to a piece of cake.
Sorry, that was beautifully timed.
And it was like around the Switch 2 date, and I'm pretty sure the person who changed their profile picture is the Silk Song dev. So
Yeah.
people were starting the rumor mill, but then I'm pretty sure they tweeted later that it wasn't a thing.
Fortunately, I'm not on Twitter, so.
I'm getting off it within the next like week or two, and I've been telling myself that for a few weeks now.
Oh,
It's not a great place right now.
I can imagine.
On
Panels of
Twitter?
Doom?
Oh yeah, no.
We do the one panels of Doom in like the other mode.
Oh yeah. Do that.
Hell yeah. Let's roll a 666 again.
Yeah.
We've gotta.
I'm glad I deactivated my Twitter like before everything.
You know,
My
my Twitter's been deactivated for a bit now.
The longer I stay on the app, the longer I regret not doing it, so I'd say you made the correct choice there, fellas.
I've also heard it's better not to deactivate so that no one can steal your tag down the line, but I don't know who's gonna do that for us. Alright, the funniest pick for this mode.
Are we here, fellas?
I don't know, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all? We kinda can't do the thing
like-
if you guys aren't here.
No, yeah, I don't know what's, wait.
Oh, that's one. Good choice.
I think that's me. That's me.
Mooney?
Mooney, I had to change my, like, it stopped detecting my controller. I don't know.
Those in the meantime, I'll go ahead and give y'all the updated blast numbers. I am
Did you figure out what you lost, by the way?
No, I just estimated, so I don't know if I'm at the right number or not, but I'm rolling with it.
I don't care that much, you're fine.
Oh, there we go. I am at 152. Pure is at 126. Venture 135, and Mooney 159.
Okay, fellas, let's pick a number. Also, what was that again?
You're pulling ahead.
What was that again?
You were at one. Shoot, I could just close it. Wait,
I can't move. No.
get trapped.
I am an 8.
You're at 126.
9. No, I'm die forever.
Bowser, no! Bowser,
Oh, I'm
no!
died too.
All of us are dying except for DK and Yoshi.
But-
There
Bye,
goes
Donkey
DK.
Kong.
Sorry, that noise.
Yoshi! Good job, Yoshi.
Yay! And that's it.
We did it, chat.
We did it, fellas.
Blasted and we casted.
Blasted, casted, and I don't know. What else did we do?
Had a really good episode.
Talked about
Yeah.
Nintendo.
We did talk about Nintendo.
Next time we kill Bowser. For all his Mario Party misdeeds. Oh no.
I've reset the game.
I thought we were gonna have a beach episode for a second there.
No, we aren't.
No beach episode.
Well, I suppose tune in next time for the end of the story mode of Wonder on Wednesday. Theoretically. It will be job build though. So
Job maxing? Babies?
job maxing, yes. But it was a good time. I think we did we did some good discussion here. We went on for just about 3 hours.
Yahoo!
Good times, y'all. Good shit. And I suppose good night. Oh god, I'm yawning. Good night, goodbye. Have a good night,
Good night,
everybody. Bye.